Good afternoon, everyone. It's another Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Shooting the Breeze with your friend Disney World Freak. I'm going to give this a shot on my own today. Usually have some friends joining in a conversation, but I figured, like the thumbnail said, I'm going to go through my list of my favorite rides, and I'm going to rank them. Top 12. I've seen top 10, top 15. I don't know why, but I just figured I'd pick a dozen. And I'll rank them from the 12 to 1. Again, these are my choices. And I have many different reasons for why these made the list, and we'll go through that too. So, I figured I'd do this on my own instead of discussing them with other people and whatnot. You guys are going to have to excuse me too today. It's been a long day, so I'm a little down, just tired. So excuse me if I, ease into all of this today. Just got home actually about 25 minutes ago. So, short planning. I was going to try to have some photos to go with the rides, but so just got home a little late, didn't get that done. Hope you guys like it. Again, throw it in the chat with, some comments on my picks and play along if you got your list, because I'd like to know what everybody's choices are as well. I might have some shockers in there. There's a couple shocking picks here. So we'll get into it in a second. First, as always, shout out to Dean at theliveplace.com. The Live Place, it's the internet guide to all the family-friendly streamers on YouTube. So go check out Dean at theliveplace.com. Also, go subscribe to Dean on YouTube, The Live Place. He's got a lot of great shows with what I call characters, but a lot of our, the YouTubers that we know. So go check out Dean at theliveplace.com. You see him in the chat. He's known as Dreamer's Empire. So say hello to Dean when and if he pops in. Let me hit the chat real quick. Again, sorry guys, but it's just trying to get into this right now. Jeff Resendiz was first. Hello, Carlos. Jeff, how are you, sir? Tracy Glenn will be listening while he's painting. You continue on painting, sir. Thank you for having me on and listening along. I appreciate it. Kenzie Days. Kenzie, since you're in here, let me tell you, I know I was in the chat. I watched the whole Shrek stream, and let me tell you, great job, girl. I'm very proud of you and everybody that helped out, everybody that jumped in. Maybe on the next one, I'll go and try out for a part. I did put in the chat, if you do a Mamma Mia, I'll get in there. Love ABBA. Maybe some Grease. So whatever you decide, but I'm telling you, girl, that was fun to watch. You did fantastic. Congrats on how it went. It was great. Joey's World. Lisa, Joey, thanks for being here. Good afternoon. Tina, T. Marie Photography. Hello, Tina. How are you? Alyssa Stenberg. Thanks for being here. Dennis, buddy, how are you? Carlos, will we be fast passing these rides? Right now, I need a fast pass because I ain't waiting for nothing today. I'm really not. It's been one of those days. We're gonna fast pass everything. Thank you so much, Carlos. It means the world to me. I'd love to have you on. Yeah, Kenzie, seriously, it was great. It was a lot of fun watching. It really was. I'm not, I'm still in my shadow of doing this, as you can see, because I'm by myself, so I'm a little slower right now. But depends on the musical. I'd love to give it a shot. I'll try out for a part. And if I don't get it, that's fine. I will be there supporting you 100% and watching along. My wife was watching along too. My wife was more listening along as she was doing her puzzle. that she finally completed, as you guys saw on Instagram. She was only doing it on Saturdays, a little more on Sundays, a little bit on Saturdays. Took her about 4 weeks to finish it. Finally got it done. So that's all cool. She's already ordered another puzzle. So that's going on. Mouse Talk. Walt, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. Disney Nerd Herders. Charlie, how are you? LSU, Mom, Emily, thanks for being here. Appreciate everybody jumping in. Thanks a lot. This means the world to me, everybody jumping in and watching. I know it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Some people are working. If you guys just turn it on, listen on the background, that's fine. Awesome. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like button. I know you've all subscribed that are in here right now, so I appreciate it. But share us out. I haven't spoken about numbers in a while. I'm at 213 subscribers. That's great. Like I had posted and I've mentioned many times, I'm happy with 2 or 3 new subscribers a week. So, that's what I've been averaging, and that's fine. Slowly but surely, we're climbing. People are liking what they're watching. So, that's all I can ask for. So just, share us out. It helps out. And I appreciate every single one of you. Donna, how are you, Donna? Thanks for being here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Amy, AGC Magic TV, thanks for being here. I'm going to try to highlight some of this too as I go along. One chat is going really quick, and the other one's not. All right. So, like the thumbnail said, I put together with a little inspiration from watching. I saw Steve's World do it. Actually, many channels have done it too, but the last one I saw, I believe, was Jim at More Sunshine Please. He had his top 15 list. And I figured, it'd be a great idea for me to do mine. Let me put my list out there. Something to stream about, something to talk about. So that's why I'm doing this. Again, for everybody just joining me now, I'm not going to have anybody on with me. I'm just going to try to babble along and put this list out and chat with everybody in the chat, and we'll discuss my picks. I did say top 12. I figured I'd go with a dozen instead of 10 or 15 like Jim did. I believe Steve did 15 as well. Even though I did list all 15 rides, I do have 15 of them here, but I went with top 12. So bottom of my list, and none of these rides belong on the bottom of any list, but you know what I mean. Bottom of my list is Everest. Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom is number 12. I enjoy this ride a lot. It's actually Michaela's second favorite ride, or third, if I was to find her list. Actually, second, I have it here. I asked her to do it, compare her list to mine. Everest is great. Everest at night is fantastic when you can see, the distance, Animal Kingdom, in some of the resorts that you can see from the top of the ride. Just being darker inside the mountain is a plus. In the morning, it's rough, but I've stated before to somebody that any roller coaster in the morning is tough because the wheels are just not hot. If you ride any roller coaster later on, if you ride any roller coaster later on in the day when the wheels warm up, the ride's a lot smoother. So, any Everest early in the morning, it's great. You got the views as well, and you can see a little more inside the tunnels, but the ride's a little rougher. So I enjoy it more in the evening or at night. Let me get it. Kenzie, Everest is awesome. I went on it 10 times in one day once. The most I've done Everest in a day is probably 3 times. And that was enough. I think 2 would be enough for me in one day. Ethan is 7. He's going to be 8. Ethan's first big roller coaster. let me put it this way. Ethan's first big ride in Disney was Everest. He was finally tall enough. It was his second trip. We got to the little pole. They measured him. I believe he got on just by the hairs. The hairs were sticking up. And they let him on. It was his first ride of the day. We ran to Everest. It was the first ride. He came off a little shaken, a little smiling, but more shaken. And after that, every ride we went on after, he would ask if it was like Everest. And I mean, even like Small Worlds. We get on Small World a couple of days later at Magic Kingdom, and he would ask, Dad, is this like Everest? So I guess it got to him a little bit, scared him a little bit. But it was his big ride, and now he goes on it like it's nothing. No big deal for him. Walt, Everest, number 12. We're starting already. Not good, Carlos. Yeah, wait, because you're going to be shocked with what I have above it. Again, I put a lot into these picks. These picks are not based on what I see everybody loves going on, the size of the lines, the wait times, or whatever. I put into these picks basically how I feel when I go on, or even now at home, missing them, and memories of some of these rides with the kids, my wife, or just by myself. So that's what I put more into this. That's why this list will be a little different than other people's. And just taste in rides. It's everybody's got their own taste. So this is my taste. What I enjoy doing. LSU Mom, I love Expedition Everest. Sometimes I'm a little dizzy when I get off the ride, but I still love it. Emily, when I get off, I don't get off dizzy. But after 2 or 3 times, it's the pain in the back. Again, it is a roller coaster, and it's just a little rocky. But dizzy, I don't. Thank God. Everest does have a single rider queue. That's the other thing too, and Everest has a great queue. Fast Pass, not so much. Single ride, even worse. It's just wide open. But yeah. Look, Suzanne's in the chat. Ethan is braver than his mom. I can tell you a story about Suzanne on this ride, but then I'm already 13 minutes in, and I won't be able to get to ride 8 by the time I'm done with this story. But I'll tell you, Suzanne's first time ever was on this ride was actually mine too. Was actually wasn't my first ride. Her first time on it was on our honeymoon, and Suzanne can't do anything that spins, flips, goes backwards. She had asked me, my brother-in-law who was with us, and my niece at the time, does it do any of that? Because we were bugging her to go on with us. Again, we already had ridden it, me, my niece, and my brother-in-law, and my godson. And pretty much I lied. Oh, we all lied. I told her it just turns, or it gets to a point where it stops. We all know it stops. And then it turns around. Well, you know what I'm talking about. We get to the top, and it stops, and all you hear is my wife sitting right next to me saying, is this where it turns around? Once the question was asked, my brother-in-law, my niece behind us are dying, laughing very loud. Well, as we all know, it doesn't turn around. It goes backwards. Long story short, it did not make for a fun day at Animal Kingdom the rest of the day. Somebody was a little upset, or, I'm actually very mad at what we did. And for the people that know about the Lion King story, that's what it all leads to the Lion King story. Why I have never seen Lion King. Why I didn't see it that day. Why I've never seen it since. That's a whole different story. So, yeah, Suzanne, Ethan is a lot braver than Suzanne. Miles taught us the right way to rate them. Yes, per taste. This is, my taste in the rides and why I, enjoy them. All right, so enough on number 12. Thank God I didn't go with 15. Number 11. Number 11 to me might even be higher for myself, but after looking at the other rides, I left it there, and that's Figment. And I'm talking about the Figment that we have now. I have never seen the old Figment, I can't remember what the name of the ride was. But this Figment, I enjoyed the score, the music. I just enjoyed the ride. I love Figment. Some people know I have Disney tattoos, just a couple. The next one might be a Figment. That's how much I enjoy Figment. I have a lot of Figment things around in the hutch and everything. I enjoy this ride. I enjoy it's a ride once we get to Epcot or when we plan this trip. It's like I can't wait to go on Figment. Well, all these rides, but there's just something about the music, the slow pace of the ride. It's one of those rides that not many people like. I've seen in chats, I've seen in streams. The Mothership, Resort TV one. I know, that they're not a big fan of the ride. They like the older one better, but I didn't get to ride the older one. I've seen it on stream, but this is what I rode. This is what I know, and it's something I really enjoy is Figment, the Figment ride. Great to hear your perspective. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate it. Big Noah, welcome in, buddy. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Figment finally gaining popularity in Orange Bird too. Well, Orange Bird has been pretty popular. Yes. Figment's popular. We all know Figment's popular. If he wasn't, Disney wouldn't use it as much during its festivals. But I notice I'm laying back a little too much. But I mean, it's always been popular. But to me, Figment, is very, he's one of those. I want to bring Figment home. So Kenzie says I'm not a fan of it because of the sensory stuff and smells and all that. Love the music though. Kenzie, let me ask you something. The sensory, what part? What part of the ride and what sensors? Because Ethan is petrified of the ride. Ethan does not like to go on it for the same reasons: the sensory, the smells, and the sounds. Especially second to last room when everything blows up and everything's upside down and everybody's singing. He freaks out. He freaks out just when I force him to go on a ride. Pretty much, we literally have to double plug his ears. We'll plug him for a few rides, but we'll plug him with the those tips that we put in because I'm not going to walk around with big headphones for him. But we'll put that, and when it gets to certain parts in the ride, my wife and I already know. We literally cover his ears with our own hands, nice and tight, just to help him out. So it's not funny that you said that, but it's cool that you said that it bothers you also as well, because having Ethan, having something in common with Ethan there. So I was just wondering, what sensories bothers you in that ride. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yes, Big Noah, it is Cinco de Mayo. I didn't even realize that until halfway through my day. Your face seems more colorful. Did you adjust the lighting? My face, I did not adjust the lighting yet, Charlie, but there is a lot of sun coming through the window right now. It's that time of day, as you can see if I move up. I get that right on my forehead. yeah, I gotta figure. I know what I gotta do. I just gotta get a camera for here. But for now, I guess we're doing all right. I can't remember everything about it. I have to watch the ride. I remember part where they do a bunch of smells though, and I never liked it. Yeah, uh, I hear you. There's a lot of parts, a lot of different moving and sounds and smells in that ride, and they can't get to certain people. So I understand. The trainer used to frighten Sam when she was little. Really? Huh. The skunk smell. Yeah, Amy, the skunk smell. See that? I mean, I guess as adults, we're used to it. We've ridden it so much, we know when it's coming. And if you've run over a skunk before driving, you know what the smell is. But I get Kenzie. I get what Kenzie's saying. I do from having a son with those, with the same issue. Uh, so I understand totally. Mike Wheeler, welcome in, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. I know. Why couldn't they have chosen lemons, oranges, or cookies as a scent? Because then it would be fun. That's what Sauron is for. All right, so that's Figment. That's number 11. Number 10. Number 10 for me is Soren. Soren's a fantastic ride, in my opinion. It's funny, Kenzie just said Soren isn't too bad with the smells. They don't do a whole lot of them, but like the oranges, though. Sorry. Charlie says, yes, the train nose is allowed for younger kids. Yes. They do bother the eardrums. I know what you're saying there. So, yeah, number 10, Soren. Again, one of those rides I look forward to. I'm going to use that term a lot because I just can't get anything else in my head right now, but I look forward to all these rides on my list. But Soren, especially now with the kids liking it, my mother-in-law liking it. Suzanne's even starting to try to go on. She went on this past trip. I think she had one eye closed, but because again with the motion, it gets to her. But Soren is one of those rides that the scenes, and I know everybody loves Soren over California. I did too. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind if they did maybe a half year of California and a half year what they have now. But what they have now is cool. I know a lot of it's CGI, and that's unfortunate, but and it's true if you sit in certain sections of the ride, you can really tell. But I enjoy the pickup, the breezes, the smells, the sounds. It's just it's cool. It's different. When it first came out, it was really different. So I had actually ridden something almost like it many moons ago at a Six Flags in New Jersey. Had a similar ride with a F-15 Tomcat. And that was cool. That was something different back then. So when Disney did theirs, I mean, Disney just does everything better and beyond. So when we first wrote Soren to me, it was like, wow. I could have put Soren as my number one ride back then. Now, as I got older and just rode a lot more, Kenzie says Soren is one of the best rides to me. So relaxing. It is. It really is. And it says, yeah, the CGI whale. Yeah, it's the whale. It's the bears. What is it? It's the Eiffel Tower too. That the crooked Eiffel Tower when you get to the top. I mean, they could fix it. I would assume they could fix it. Well, maybe not because they would. I guess they would have by now. And saying hi to Mike. All right, so yeah, Soren, number 10 for me. Above that, number 9, I put Slinky. Slinky Dog Dash, to me, is a ride. Like Kenzie said, she rode Everest 10 times in one day. I would ride Slinky Dog 10 times in one day. I think we've done 3 or 4, maybe even, I think it was 4 times we've done it in one day to family. It's just one of those rides. Just the backyard, seeing everything, all the characters and the toys in the yard. Yes, the view of Star Wars Land helps just a little bit, but when you're paying attention to the ride, it's something else. To this point, I don't think Suzanne and I or the kids have found everything in the yard that's out there. We try, we look, but we just start laughing. I know Suzanne and I do. There's parts of that ride we just start laughing at ourselves because of the feelings you get on that ride. If you all know, you start talking on a certain part of the ride, but I believe it's on the like the camel humps towards the end. Your voice vibrates like you're talking into a fan. It's great. It's just little things like that. Might not happen to everybody. It happens to me. And my wife and the kids too, but there's just something about that ride. And again, memories. I know the first time we rode it, I said something out loud to my wife, and the kids heard it, and it's just something that'll always stick in our heads. It was funny to us. I won't say it on stream, but it was funny to us. It's one of those rides. It did it right off the bat the first time we rode it. It did something for us memory wise, and it's just one of those rides. It is still only number 9 on my list, but it's a great ride. Since it's curved screen, you always get the curved Eiffel Tower unless you're directly in the middle. Yeah. Listen, even on that ride, I don't grab on for dear life, but when it gets up to the top, even my legs still get a little tingly, like, we shouldn't be up here. but it still is, a great ride. OG Ohana. Who are we talking about, Dennis? Who's the OG Ohana? Amy says Slinky Dog is her favorite. Yeah, I mean, again, everybody's got different tastes for, what's their favorite ride, and for what reason. So, Slinky only made number 9 for me. All right, number 8. Before we get there, again, hope you guys are liking what's going on. Make sure you hit the like button, share us out. If you don't mind, I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that's in here right now. There's 13 in here right now. There was 17 not too long ago. So I appreciate everybody checking in. Kenzie says, Mom loves Slinky and everyone else in Toy Story Land. Rob Fuzz, welcome in, buddy. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Dennis. Again, it was a long day. I wasn't even thinking what you were saying there, but thanks for thank you. Sorry, where was I? I already forgot. Oh, Toy Story Land. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that right now. Well, I can. The only thing I don't like in Toy Story Land is the new swirl ride. I think they could have came up with something so much better than that. I really do with Toy Story. Offhand, I don't know what, so I'm not going to say, like they could have done this or that. But it's just the alien swirl ride it's cute. But it just could have been better for that land. It really could have. Just my opinion. Everybody saying hi to Rob. Rob saying hi to everybody. Welcome in, Rob. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate it very much, sir. Number 8. Now, when I said rides, I should have specified rides and I guess attractions, because this next one is not so much a ride as more as an attraction, and that is the laugh floor. I love sitting there and just listening to the childish jokes. Every once in a while, you get a little adult joke in there. Not too adult, but you know what I'm talking about if you've seen a laugh floor. I personally would love if they would just change more of the monsters instead of the ones that they seem to use all the time. But it's another one of those, it's made a lot of memories for us. Ethan, this is one thing that Ethan asked to go on over and over. Like, as soon as you leave, you come back out, and he wants to go right back in line. He wants to be picked for something. This last trip, I believe it was this last trip. If it wasn't this last one, it was the one before. He gets upset when he doesn't get picked. He's still, very childish when it comes to that. But his sister got picked for something. We saw the light come on. We felt the light come on. And we're like all excited, like, great, it's Ethan. Finally got picked, but it wasn't. It was his sister sitting next to him. But thankfully, being a big sister and knowing how much it meant to Ethan, she took him, put her on her lap, on her lap, and did the show from there. So he was, kind of in it, but not. They weren't asking him questions, but it made his day. So again, it's one of those memories that it'll stick with you for the rest of your life, I guess. Something you could talk about, to them when they're older. But the ride itself, the attraction itself, again, it's enjoyable. The seating could be a little better. A little rough, on your behind and on your back, but again, and the screen's fine to me. The sound is great. I would just change on that ride some of the monsters. Just bring out some different guys instead of the same salmonella. And even though I enjoy salmonella, see, the adults will laugh at that. The kids won't understand what salmonella is. Excuse me with the water. It's very warm in here and dry. So, yeah. So that's laugh floor is number 8 for me. How's everybody thinking of my list so far? I know some of these rides might be higher on some people's lists, like Soren and Everest, even Slinky Dog, but they're at the bottom. I mean, it's only a list of 12, so they're not really at the bottom of my list, but they're not making the cut up top, that's for sure. It's a tiny carnival ride. Alien Swirl, yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad the money they spent on it, especially in that land. I think if I went back and just think of the movies themselves, I don't even know why I have headphones on, but if I went back and think of the movies themselves, I'm sure you can come up with something a little better than what's there. Just my opinion again. So, yeah, Donna, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Donna, you putting up those links for me. Thank you. Yeah, follow me on every social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I do have a Facebook page for the channel, so you can find us there too. Thank you. And yes, I saw that Donna posted my P.O. box. Finally got a P.O. box a couple of weeks ago. I know I haven't even checked it since. So, but it's there. P.O. box is there. If anybody wants to send some mail, it's what it's there for. Appreciate it. All right. Number 7. Number 7 is probably high on some people's lists. Just made number 7 for me. And that is Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean is another one of those classic nostalgic rides. I do enjoy the nostalgia of Disney. I do get upset. People know I've done it on streams when they make these big changes and close some of the classics. You know, wish they would leave them alone. And Pirates is another one. Yeah, when they added Johnny Depp, even I was a little like, you know, I get it because of the movies. And I've read that they're going to remove them, so not a bad idea. But just the ride when you get to the bottom of the hill and you see the ship. Me as a 42-year-old, and I've ridden it countless of times, I still have a big smile. Once you get to the bottom of that hill, big smile. Little story about that little drop too. It was our first trip because it was our first time riding it. We already had been on, I believe it was Splash Mountain, and Suzanne and I were drenched as it was. I believe we had, if I'm correct, we had just finished somewhat drying off. We get on a ride, and I noticed there's a little water in the boat. Think nothing of it. Sit down. When we get to the hill, I'm not going to lie, and she can jump in the chat, and she'll tell you the truth. I'm not lying. I screamed. I got very scared, not because of the drop, and I grabbed onto her. I actually jumped closer to her. I was on the edge because I just didn't want to get wet anymore. You know, I was wet enough. We had just dried off. It's like, oh my God. And I think I screamed that out. Oh my God, we're going to get wet again. Well, we didn't get wet, of course. And you get to the bottom and you see the ship. And the rest of the ride, I missed the redhead. I mean, she's there, but you know what I mean, the story. I enjoyed the dog with the keys. I enjoyed the whole ride. But again, it's one of those nostalgic rides that just, you know, I hope gets left alone. I have seen the Disneyland one on streams, and everybody says it's so much better than Disney World. For what I have seen, I will agree. I will agree for what I have seen on screen. Until I ride it and really compare it, I'll go with that. I won't deny that. Just like people say Fantasmic and Disneyland is better than Disney World's. I don't agree with it. I enjoy the large pirate ship that comes around. That's cool. But I don't agree with the Fantasmic aspect of Disneyland's being better. But I will give them Pirates. Definitely will. Today, Stacy, Disney Must Do Awards 15-year Disney anniversary. We love Stacy on our Disney Hotel TV. Oh, that one. I'm like, what are we talking about? God, you bring that up, and it's funny what those little shows and those resort rooms do to you. Because I remember us talking about her for so long when we used to come home from our trips. And it's just something we always have to turn on while you're there. It's part of Disney. It's like when you go to, you know, you got to have a Mickey bar. You know, when you go to Disney, you need to have, unless you're lactose intolerant, you can't have one. But you need to take a picture of Cinderella Castle. Well, staying at a Disney resort, you have to put those channels on. You know, it's just one of those things. All right, guys. That was number 7. That's Pirates. Number 6. And it brings me back to my conversation about Toy Story Land. Even though it wasn't in Toy Story Land when it was first built, but Toy Story Mania is my number 6 ride. Just for the reason of how much fun you can have competing with your wife, your significant other, your children, your parents, in my case, my in-laws. it's one of those. It's very competitive. It has never gotten nasty, but you do come off with there she is. You always come off with that finger to the nose. I won. As Suzanne says, she always wins. I don't believe she always wins, but she has won her share against me. Because I don't know about everybody else, but the way I play the game is I go for the bigger prizes. Maybe that's why I don't score so high so many times, because I'm shooting for the 5,000s and the 10,000 prizes over the 500s. Maybe that's where I'm screwing up. Pepper Tree Villa, Arnie, Doug, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping in. Just wanted to say hi. Thanks for being here, guys. Just hit that like button. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening in. Means a lot to me. Thank you. Thanks a lot. What did Donna say to Suzanne? I'm running away here. LOL. Yeah. Oh, it's Joey. Oh, Donna too. Yeah. Suzanne has won her share of many, many battles. Just not the Lion King battle yet. That's my fight, and I'll keep on winning that one. Yes. Big Noah, how are you, sir? Saying hi to Pepper Tree. Everybody saying hi to Pepper Tree. Saying hi to Arnie. I'm sure Arnie's still at work. What is it, 12:42? Actually, you're working from home now. I forgot we're all working from home. Some of us. Not all of us, some of us. Michelle the Quilter, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So yeah, again, Toy Story Mania, just one of those rides. Very competitive, very fun. And there's a couple other ones, and I'll bring it up because it didn't make my list, but Buzz Lightyear is another one of those games that I don't compare it to Toy Story Mania, not even close. To me, Toy Story Mania is just that much better. But again, Buzz Lightyear is great. I enjoy riding it. I enjoy playing. I have never gotten the high score. I've tried. I know exactly what to aim for. Just can't do it. But it's another competitive game between Suzanne and I where, once you're done, you're looking at the score. Even if you're in a different car. I can be in a car with Ethan, and she'll come off making sure she saw what my score was so I don't lie to her. But it's great. But I don't compare the rides. Not one bit. I wish they could move that ride to Toy Story Mania, at Toy Story Land, and just put it all together. That'd be great. Michelle saying hi to everybody. Everybody saying hi to Michelle. Charlie saying hi to Suzanne. Yeah, so that's number 6. Get into my top 5 now. Couple of them. Actually, no, I think, you know what? I think they're pretty spot on for me, my top 5. Number 5 to me was maybe number 2 for a while. But it's the more I've ridden other rides or the other rides, this one dropped down a little bit. So number 5 to me is everybody hold on a second. I'm getting a little help here. Ethan, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
We're on stream. Just Daddy talking about his favorite rides. What's your favorite ride? And don't look at my list.
I already looked at it.
You already looked. Yeah, but tell everybody what's your favorite ride, your number 1 ride in Disney World?
Space Mountain.
Your number 1 ride is Space Mountain?
Actually, that's my number 2. My number 1 is...
Okay, people in the chat are waiting.
People Mover.
People Mover. Well, in about a half hour, he changed his mind. Like everybody's saying hi to you, buddy. Look at the chat.
Hi. Hey. Hi, Ethan. Hey, Ethan. Ethan. Hi, Ethan.
Okay, why don't you say hi to the people that are saying hi to you?
I am.
No, what's their names?
Donna
Yeah.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Okay, H. Joey's World.
Yeah.
Michael the Quilter.
Michelle.
Disney Nerd Herders. Herds. T. Mary Photography.
Photography.
Okay.
Come on, you've been reading since you were
Big
2.5.
Yellow Mountains.
All right. Thanks for the water, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, a little brief interruption there, but yeah. So that's Ethan. Everybody knows Ethan. I'm gonna start doing maybe. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate Ethan rocks. Yeah, Ethan does rock. All my kids, they're all great. T. Marie's adorable. Yeah, he tries. Gets that from Dad. Dennis, Space Mountain's your favorite. Listen, Magic Kingdom. I don't know where that came from. I mean, don't get me wrong. After his first time riding it, he rode it maybe 3 or 4 more times in that trip. Just the one in July. But that I was not expecting him to say that as his number one. I really wasn't. But hey, it's his choice. He knows what he likes. Michelle, look what he's cute. Thank you. Appreciate it. You said my last name better than most adults. Ethan, yeah, Ethan's a reader. Ethan's not a sports boy. He's not one of those, let's a baseball player or any of that. That was my oldest son, Nick. Nick was my sports boy. A lot of baseball we did. As Michaela does with soccer. Ethan's the reader. Just like his other sister, Serena, they're the readers. But this one more. He started young, 3 years old. Yeah, about 3.5. He had books in his hand. Well, more the iPad, and he was learning how to read on that. But you know what? We're getting off topic. I'll do a family stream one day. We'll get to meet everybody. Maybe everybody. I'm waiting for her to pop in the chat. No, not me. Back to number 5. Number 5 to me, again, nostalgia of the ride, is Spaceship Earth. I'm one of those. I'm upset right now that the last time I rode it was in July, and now it's all going to be changed. I didn't get a chance to go back and ride it, and it bugs me because again, I love the old nostalgic rides, and Spaceship Earth is one of them. I've seen the photos of the updates they're going to do. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it when I ride it. If the story somewhat stays the same. But if they change the story to the storyline, it's going to be upsetting because it's one of those. I mean, Spaceship Earth, it was built that way. That ride was put in back then, and it just should be left alone, And I know I'm reaching here, but I'm sure they're not thinking of let's change Cinderella's castle. Let's make it something else. It's the icon. It's the icon of the park. Leave it alone. And it's not. It didn't make my list because. Actually, it didn't make my list, so I don't know where I was going there. No, it didn't make my list. Great movie ride. Didn't make my list, but to me, should have been left alone. The ride was great. I enjoyed that ride a lot. It should have been left alone. It was the icon of the park. That cinema was the icon of the park. Should have been left alone. Animal Kingdom, the Tree of Life. Again, they're not changing it. They could change Bug's Life. Tough to be a bug. Again, it's another ride that I might be upset with. It's cool, but just leave the old nostalgia rides alone. My opinion. But again, Spaceship Earth. If you want to add something to it, like at the end, we can all agree, 150%. that the backward part of that ride, or once you get to the top, it's completely boring after that. It's ridiculous. It doesn't belong there. So add from there. Make a few changes there. Leave the rest alone. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to definitely miss that ride. It's number 5 for me, but it could have been easily number 2 again. But yeah, 5 it is. Alyssa says she loves Dennis Judi Dench. Yes. That's another one. It's leave it alone. She belongs there. Michelle, I agree. We always had a great movie ride. When we were there, I still call it MGM. Every once in a while, I catch myself calling it MGM. I feel bad for my in-laws when they started going. The ride was already closed. They didn't get to ride it. Ethan, I think, rode it just once, maybe twice. So unless seeing it on stream, I don't think even he would remember the ride if we were there. If we were to go there right now and stand outside of it and ask him what the ride is inside, I don't think he'd remember. That's how far back he rode it. How far back? He's 7. I think he was 3 when he rode it. But unfortunately, my in-laws didn't get to ride it. And again, it was one of those rides. The last time we rode it, I don't even think they had announced it that it was being closed. Because I think we would have just took it in a little more one last time. But it is definitely, he cried. He did cry. He cried in the ride. I don't remember him crying in the ride. I remember him crying a lot on that first trip. Ethan's first trip, I can do a whole stream on Ethan's first trip, how miserable he was. So he cried a lot on that trip. Oh, he cried with the gangster part. Okay. I'm trying to remember that. I mean, I'm sure he did. My wife remembers things a lot better than what I do. So I'll take her word for it. So, yeah. That was number 5, guys. Number 4, to me, is, what? I've been contemplating poor Ethan. Donna, again, I can do a whole stream on that first trip with Ethan. You'd be saying poor Ethan a lot. It's funny how they become Disney fans later in life. What I call that, Dennis, is it's anybody, but even older people. I call it that you get bitten, bitten by that bug. Disney does that. People say Disney puts scents out in the air and whatever they do. We took my in-laws for their first trip 3 years ago. And right after that, they were 2 of those that like, what's this big deal? Why do you always go to Disney? Go somewhere else. Go see the world. Go wherever. Now we laugh because they ask us, when are we going? If somebody else in the family is going, they'll go with them. You're right. It's funny how they become Disney fans later in life. They have definitely become Disney freaks. So number 4, and I can see we're going to go a little bit past an hour, but that's all right. Number 4 to me is the TTA, People Mover. Great ride. Everybody loves the TTA. Just reading something. Just reading what Dennis put. I've seen Epcot filled with pensioners and hardly any children around. Listen, just to get into my in-laws real quick, they could go to Disney and not even go to the parks. We go for 9 days. They're happy with a 2-day pass. The rest, they are fine with Disney Springs, the resorts, just walking around the resorts. They love the parks, don't get me wrong, but for him, especially the resorts in Disney Springs, will make his day. Their trip, is perfect just with that. TTA for life, excellent choice. TTA just made number 4 for me again. Who doesn't love the TTA? Who doesn't have a TTA at the top of somewhere at the top of their list? It's great. TTAs, we have so many memories of TTA, be it with Michaela's first trip at 2.5. Suzanne, TTA is one of those rides that when Ethan was younger and I'd go on Space Mountain with Michaela, Suzanne would ride TTA 2 or 3 times until we came off with Ethan when he was a little baby, 2.5. But even now, it's one of those rides. It's like it's 3 p.m. We've been there since 8 o'clock. Don't want to leave yet, but we need a break. Where are you gonna go? You can go sit somewhere in an AC and just sit back. But I'm sorry, if you have a choice of a bench or taking a quick, and it is a quick walk. I mean, it depends where you are in a park, but I mean, you can get there quick and jump on a TTA and just put your feet up or just stretch out, on the car and just take everything in, the sounds. I've said it on many streams that to me, the smells and the sounds are more important to me than the rides. Just being there, walking around, smelling and hearing everything is so much more important than riding a ride to me. So, and that's, one of the main ones, if not the main one to get that. All the different sounds you hear, the people, the music on the ride. When you get into Space Mountain, you hear the roller coaster. There's so much. The smell from, you can smell the hot dogs being made, down below, or the popcorn. It's everything. Close your eyes, just sit back, and just smell and hear everything. It's perfect. It only made number 4 to me, but nobody denies TTA at the top of somewhat at the top of their list. TTA is a ride you need. Yeah, wow, that's a whole different TTA, but can't wait to go on a Disney cruise with the Grands and the whole family. We still haven't done a cruise. I can talk about that on a different stream, but for the money, I'm sorry. I just I would do 8 days, 9 days at a park than 4 days on a cruise, and that's money wise. That's exactly what it comes out to. Anybody that tries to tell me otherwise, you're lying. Because we've all looked at prices. Disney cruise. Don't get me wrong. Someday, I'm sure we will do one. I'm sure of it. It's Disney. I'm sure we'll do it. Just like someday I'll visit Disneyland. But when you do the math, it's that simple. You put numbers together. You can get 8 days, 9 days out of Disney World compared to a 4-day cruise. So I would have the 8 days, but and you get to see the Tron construction. Yes, can't wait for Tron. I could have put Tron on the list without even writing it. All right, so that's number 4. Already at the hour mark. 3 rides to go. Again, thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are liking what you're hearing. Number 3. Number 3 for me is, and I can show you my list. I kind of moved a couple of rides just going through this list. The more I thought about it, that it should have been moved up a little bit. Number 3 for me is not a ride again. It's an attraction. And that is Philharmagic. PhilharMagic to me is so soothing. I wish they would just update the and Walt. I don't know if Walt's still in here. We had this conversation. Walt had it on his stream. If they could just update, I said the screen, but Walt's right. If they can update the projection, just to where we're at now, we're in 2020. I mean, projection should be a little clearer. Don't change any of the songs. Don't change any of the videos. Just the projection alone. It's like you almost feel like you're looking at it as 420. Not even, 480 or whatever it is now. It's 720. 720p compared to compared to 4K, compared to 8K, and that's what it should be. So if they could do that, oh my God. But the music, I'm not gonna lie, it brings out emotions. I don't cry, but it makes you feel good. Hearing my wife sing along, my daughters, my son. Ethan and Michaela sing that whole thing here at home, especially when Lion King comes on. It's their thing. But again, it's more for the memories and the emotions. It's an attraction that we will do at least twice a Magic Kingdom day, because we'll go to Magic Kingdom probably 3 times in the trip. So we'll do it at least twice, if not more. If really not more. Depends how hot it is. We'll do it more. It's another one of those that we love it so much that if it's really, it's that ride you run to where it's really hot. It's like, oh my God, let's go see PhilharMagic again, even though we just did it an hour ago. Instead of running to a restaurant. Jeff, Angela, this is our dreams. Thanks for being here. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. But it's definitely for us, and I know my wife would have this at the top of her list. We're up there, and that's PhilharMagic. Just, again, the memories and what we love, what I love. All right, let's get into this top 2. I don't know if anyone wants to start taking guesses on what my top 2 can be. You might get it, you might not, because I have left out some decent rides. I know I have. But number 2 to me is Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion, another nostalgic ride. Everything about it inside is perfect. If I was to get stuck on a ride, I think this is the ride I'd love to get stuck on. But there's a lot of great rooms. But in a room with the singing heads, that's where I want to be. With the foolish mortals in there, I just want to stay in there, just listening to this sing. Or oh my God, where Man Leota's head is in the ball. Just stay there. If I was to if somebody asked me, okay, you got to go on a ride, and we're gonna get you stuck in there, then that's the one. Sorry guys, 1 second. Getting a phone call. No texting him now that I'm streaming, and he should have got the update. So I don't know why he's calling me. Boss man can wait. But yeah, Haunted Mansion number 2. It's. I always put it as a fast pass. I think for every day we're there. I know I could use fast passes a little better on better rides to some people, but I think Haunted Mansion is for us is one of those that's like I need a fast pass every day. We need to make sure we ride Haunted Mansion. It's that simple. That's how much I enjoy it. That's how much the family enjoys it. So yeah, that's number 2. Just checking the chat real quick. Yeah. So again, that's number 2. Sorry guys, just got distracted by the boss is texting, and not the other boss. The other boss is still working in there. the one that pays the bills, that boss. We always get Jeff. We always get Fast Pass for Haunted Mansion. Yeah, it's just one of those rides. Again, I've said it 3 times. Well, Magic Kingdom for us is 3 days during our trip, but we need to ride it every one of those days. It's a shame if we don't. That's how good it is to me. All right, guys. Again, I've gone through 11 of my top 12. Before I get to number 1, I'm going to let you know that 13, 14, and 15 to me. 13 would have been Grand Fiesta Tour. Love that ride. Love just getting in there, going, under the pyramid there. Still to this time, we've ridden it so many times, and I'm still looking around everywhere, as if it's my first time riding it. Singing along, love the song. Ethan now sings along too. Suzanne always did. It's great. 14, Dinosaur. We love Dinosaur. I love Dinosaur. I shouldn't say we. I love Dinosaur. It's rough on the bones. It really is. To me, it was a little better when the first time we rode it. Yeah, Dennis, Mission Space number 1. Yep, you got it, buddy. Give me your address. I'll just send you your prize. Never even ridden it, so couldn't even tell you what Mission Space is like. Don't want to ride it either. But Dinosaur was down there. 15, and this is where chat can go off if you want. 15 to me is Flight of Passage. So right off the bat, it's not number 1. Flight of Passage, I rode it once, loved it. I came off the ride like, oh my God, there is nothing better than this in Disney. And it wasn't at the time. I have not been to Disney World yet with Star Wars Land. So I'm sure those will be ranked if I did this list. If we end up going in December or whatever, our next trip. I'm sure somewhere in there, Star Wars Land will be in there. One of the rides, Rise of Resistance. Unlike some people, I've watched it on stream. It's great. Can't wait to ride it. But Flight of Passage, yes, I came off like, oh my God, there is nothing like this. But again, making this list, it's not a ride. Maybe because I've only ridden it once. And I'm not saying I had a bad experience before we rode it, but Ethan wanted to ride it. Then when we were about to get onto our seat, and Ethan was freaking out, didn't want to do it. I think actually, if I remember correctly, he had to pee. He was dying to use the restroom. And it's like, we're not leaving now. You got to hold it, which he did, thankfully. But again, you bet I will, die for a fast pass, next time we go. But it hasn't done anything for me yet to even make it onto my list. Just hasn't. All right. So that all being said, to me, number 1 for me is Splash Mountain. I am a Splash Mountain fanatic. If I can point you up there, I would. This is where all the frames are. Going this way. It's a long 8-foot shelf, 6-foot shelf. 80%. Actually, no, all of them. These are all ride frames. It's probably, 15 of them up there. A lot of them are Splash Mountain. Every time I ride Splash Mountain, I get the picture. Well, I download the picture now, but got to buy a new frame for it. I buy a frame for, if the ride has a frame, I will buy it. But Splash Mountain, that's how much I've ridden it, how much I love it. That, the pictures are all up here with frames. I think you can actually see right above if I go this way, right above my head, that little blue, that's one of the frames from Splash Mountain. That's the water. Actually, I think to the side of it, you can see the word Splash too. Yep. So the 2 of them right there. But Splash Mountain to me, it's long. There's such a story to it. The different rooms. And I'm not even talking about the drop. The drop is a drop. It's a flume. If If you've been to Six Flags, you've been to any small amusement park, you've been on a flume. So it's not even a point of the drop. It's the ride itself, the story behind it, the song at the end, that last drop when you make the turn, you get to the ferry and everybody and all the characters on it singing. It's great. It's another ride that we've done countless of times, and I'm still looking around everywhere. Every chance I get, I try to take everything in. I thought Ethan was going to say that was his favorite ride too, because we've ridden it so much together in a short period of time that he's been going. And even with the older kids, the memories I have with them on there is amazing. Suzanne stopped riding it, unfortunately. I've said it before, Suzanne doesn't ride a lot anymore. For health issue, I guess health reasons. She suffers from vertigo. So a lot of things bother her. So to make sure she still enjoys her trip, and don't get me wrong, she's enjoying it, not riding rides. She does do some rides, but she's another one. And she's like her parents and myself. I can go to Disney and not ride rides, just walk around. But she hasn't ridden it. She's never ridden it with Ethan. Last time I remember her riding it Michaela was maybe 7 or 8. So it's been a while. But she, I think she liked it. But that is my favorite ride. Splash Mountain. There's no other. That's a ride. Maybe I'll do it twice, 3 times every day. Magic Kingdom. It depends on the weather. Now that we've been going late November and early December, you'd be lucky to get it in once or twice a trip. But yeah, missed the last trip due to weather. We skipped it a couple of times too during the last trip. It was just too cold. Even though we rode it one time without jackets on, because I was determined real quick to get a picture with Ethan for one of the frames. Every time we rode it, that was this July trip. Every time we rode it, somebody in front of him would put his hand up and cover his face, or he'd duck down, or something. So it was like, oh my God, we got to keep riding this until I get a photo for the frame. Finally, we got the front seat, and I literally put my arm against him to make sure he stood up, told him to get his hands up. We got a great photo of it. It's somewhere. Yeah, it's in the back, so I'm like, I can't get up to get it. Memories you make for your children at Disney will last forever as they made with my parents. Yeah, that's totally accurate, totally true. Memories is everything, and we've made plenty, and we'll keep making more. But it is everything, especially not especially, but as long as you have a sane mind, it's great, because you see as people, your relatives get older, you see what happens. So right now we try to make them all that we can. We try to we talk about them as much as we can, because that's what you got. Yes, Jeff, I know you got here late, but surprised, in any of my streams, that's the first time you brought that up. They do. They definitely need a Splash Mountain popcorn bucket. Yes. I don't know why. Not like I collect them or anything, Jeff. I don't know why you would even think that. But yeah, yes, definitely need a Splash Mountain popcorn bucket. All right, guys. That's my list. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys liked the stream. Again, I saw Charlie say it before. Good job on your first solo stream. Yeah, wasn't that bad. I am sweating a little, but I don't know if it's because of the sun that's coming through this window, or again because I'm doing this alone. But it was fun. I prefer to be talking to people, even though I'm talking to all of you in the chat. But you know what I mean. Again, I'd like to thank everybody that was popped in today. I appreciate it. Everybody in the chat playing along. Coach mode. Yes, Jeff, coach mode. That's what I'm in right now. You completely just lost track. I have a video dropping Thursday. Another cooking video. Been doing those. Been dropping those on Thursdays. Amy says, good choices. Everyone has their favorites and dislikes. Yeah. Everybody, everybody's got their own. So that was mine. And I'd love to, play along and see everybody else's, list someday. So, get them out there, or let's see what you guys like. I know I left some big stuff out, but I think I even left Space Mountain out. I did. I didn't think about it. But that's besides the point. So yeah, Thursday, dropping a stream, a video, another cooking video. Hope you guys pop in to see that. Hit the like button if you like it. Leave a comment down below. Donna has posted we now have a P.O. box. I have it streaming down there. I have links on my page to all my social medias. Saturday, I don't know what we're doing Saturday yet. We're getting there. I know Saturday night I will be streaming with Disney Dan 91st, 92nd episode. Now I've lost track of his Disney fiasco. So we'll be on that. I know Jeff and Charlie are going to be joining me. So it's all four of us. Can't wait for that. What is today? Today is Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm drawing a blank on who streamed tonight. Zip's on tonight. Charlie's on tomorrow. Go check them out. Yeah. So, guys, again, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Until the next time, which will be Saturday. Stay warm. Stay warm. Listen to me. Wow. It is warm in here. Stay healthy. Stay positive. Stay strong. We'll get through all of this one hand wash at a time. We'll be back in Disney before you know it. Until next time, see ya.